Take your hand off my phone.
You don't give orders here! Don't touch him!
What happened?
She hit him! He moved at me!
I did not.
Leave the aircraft now. My phone is on the floor.
Stay upright, sir.
Am I being removed?
You're done.
He hasn't touched anyone.
Lower your phone.
No. Give me your names. He became aggressive.
That's false. Everyone stop.
His seat was confirmed. Stay out of this. Ask what I did.
Sir, cooperate. With what?
We all saw it. Keep us out of it.
Who exactly are you?
The passenger in 2A. That seat is no longer yours.
Show me the rule.
You're delaying
Your
departure.
system confirmed my ticket.
It still does.
Quiet.
Why won't you verify it?
Because the answer is inconvenient.
Preserve every record.
Which records?
Gate video, cabin footage, seat logs, crew messages.
End that call. Back away from him. Sir, this is unauthorized.
Preserve.
The closing team is waiting.
Suspend it.
Suspend what? The entire transaction?
Yes, this is a performance. Then why are you nervous? A legal hold just hit the system. Who are you?
Preserve every record.
You think one call changes this?
Executive notice delivered. Everyone heard that. The deal is frozen.
Wait, what deal?
The one your company needed me to sign.
The slap cracked through first class before the cabin door had even closed. A quiet black passenger stood beside seat 2A, his phone on the carpet, while a flight attendant ordered him to leave as everyone watched. Why did no one stop her? Why did he refuse to explain who he was? And why, seconds later, did one calm phone call send lawyers racing, executives shouting, and a $4.8 billion agreement into immediate lockdown? He never raised his voice. He only touched the worn photograph inside his coat and said, "Preserve every record. Stay until the end, because the seat she tried to take from him was the smallest thing she was about to lose." The phone stopped vibrating against the carpet, but no one moved. Isaiah Mercer bent, picked it up, and checked the cracked screen. The cabin smelled of coffee and hot wiring. White reading lights hummed above Claire Harlan, whose hand remained half raised. "Step into the aisle," she said. Isaiah closed his fingers around the phone. "Your name?" "You don't need it." "I heard it at boarding. Claire Harlan." Across the aisle, a woman in a gray suit raised her phone. "Stop recording," Claire ordered. "I'm Tessa Nguyen, an attorney," she said. "I'm documenting what happened." "This is a private aircraft. It's a commercial cabin. He hasn't touched anyone." Near the galley, Priya Shah stood with paper cups against her uniform. One cup buckled under her fingers. Owen Price pushed through the curtain. "What happened?" "He became disruptive," Claire said. Isaiah faced him. "Ask her what I did." Owen glanced at the open door. A cold draft lifted Isaiah's boarding pass from seat 2A. "Sir, leave the plane so we can sort this out." "My seat is confirmed. This is no longer about the seat." "No," Isaiah said. "It isn't." The door latch clicked. Music leaked from someone's headphones while first class stayed still. Isaiah opened his contacts. Claire stepped closer. "You are not making calls here." He watched her hand. "Do not touch the phone." The call connected. "Evelyn," a woman answered at once. "You should be in the air. Preserve every record connected to this flight. Gate footage, crew messages, seat assignments, internal notes." Owen's expression shifted. Claire laughed. "Calling a lawyer doesn't change procedure." Isaiah continued. "Suspend the closing window." The line went quiet. "The entire transaction?" Evelyn asked. "Yes." Owen moved nearer. "What transaction?" Keyboard clicks sounded through the speaker. "Give me the trigger," Evelyn said. "Passenger removal, potential misconduct, evidence preservation." "Understood." "Send notice through counsel. Do not brief their executives yet." Claire folded her arms. "This performance is over." Tessa stepped into the aisle so her camera held both of them. "No, now there's a record." Priya placed the crushed cup on the counter. "Mr. Price, the seat conflict is still visible." Owen turned. "Not now. It shows his assignment came first." "Priya." She fell silent, but kept her eyes on him. Isaiah ended the call. His watch read 7:18 a.m. The steel band felt too tight. A message waited beneath 2 missed calls. Please don't be late again. His thumb hovered over the words. Claire pointed toward the door. Last chance. Walk off calmly, or this becomes official. Isaiah slipped the phone into his coat. It became official when the truth became inconvenient. Owen lowered his voice. Who exactly are you? Isaiah reached into the inner pocket of his navy coat. Instead of identification, his fingers found the worn photograph. He smoothed its folded edge and let his hand fall. Right now, he said, I'm the passenger in 2A. Rain striped the windows. The gate clock changed to 7:19. Far across the country, a stage worker placed one empty chair in the front row. 3 hours earlier, Isaiah woke before the hotel alarm and reached for the phone on the nightstand. The room was dark except for the blue line beneath the curtains. Rain ticked against the glass. Please be there before I start. Just once, Dad. He read it twice, then set the phone face down beside cold coffee. A knock came at 4:52 a.m. Mr. Mercer, a man called. Car service? Isaiah buttoned his navy coat over the charcoal hoodie and opened the door. The driver, a tired man with silver glasses, glanced behind him. No security? Not today. No assistant? Isaiah lifted the worn leather folio. This complains less. The driver noticed the untouched tray. Long flight? Longer conversation when I land. In the elevator, Isaiah checked his inner pocket. The photograph was there. Naomi laughing beneath a paper umbrella. Amara at 12 against her shoulder. One corner had split along the crease. He pressed it flat with his thumb until the elevator chimed. Outside, wet air smelled of asphalt and cedar. The car heater clicked without warming. Seattle passed in blurred amber lights. My wife attended those aviation dinners, the driver said, seeing Isaiah's event badge. She said CEOs never traveled alone. She was probably right. You're not? Not this morning. The phone rang. Evelyn Grant's name appeared. You left without the protection team, she said. I released them. You have a closing at 9 Eastern and a board call before takeoff. Move the board call. To when? After the lecture. Evelyn exhaled. The signing window is fixed. Northline's council has 26 people waiting. My daughter has waited longer. The driver's eyes lifted to the mirror. Evelyn lowered her voice. Is this about Naomi? It's about keeping one promise while I still can. He ended the call. At the terminal, floors reflected white ceiling panels. Wheels rattled, espresso hissed, and an announcement dissolved beneath the crowd. Isaiah carried his bag to a bench near Gate 14. He opened the folio. The first page held the $4.8 billion closing schedule. Beneath it lay the memorial program Amara had emailed him. Her name appeared under keynote address. A second message arrived. They saved you a seat in the front row. Mom's photo will be on stage. Isaiah typed, I'm already at the airport. He erased it. He typed, I won't miss it. That disappeared too. Finally he wrote, I'll be there before you begin. 3 dots appeared, vanished, then returned. That's what you said last year. The boarding announcement began before he found an answer. At the gate, a young flight attendant with a loose dark braid scanned his pass and frowned at her tablet. Seat 2A? That's what it says. She refreshed the screen. A red symbol flashed beside his name. Is there a problem? Probably nothing, she said too quickly. Please wait. Behind the desk, a senior attendant with auburn hair in a tight bun leaned toward the tablet. A gray-haired man in an expensive overcoat stood beside her, tapping his ticket against his palm. Isaiah slipped Naomi's photograph back into his coat. The broken corner caught on the lining. The senior attendant looked from the screen to his hoodie. Then she asked, "Who upgraded you?" "My ticket was purchased, not upgraded," Isaiah said. The auburn-haired attendant held out her hand. "Let me see it." He passed her the boarding slip. Behind him, suitcase wheels clicked over tile, and the scanner chirped at regular intervals. She read his name, then looked back at the charcoal hoodie beneath his coat. "Isaiah Mercer?" "Yes." "Wait here." She carried the pass behind the desk. The younger attendant, Priya Shah, according to her badge, tilted the tablet away from the line. A red icon pulsed beside 2A. "It's showing 2 service notes," Priya whispered. Claire Harlan tapped the screen. "Remove the lower priority assignment." "It isn't lower priority. His ticket was issued first." The gray-haired man in the overcoat leaned across the counter. "I was promised that seat." Claire's expression softened. "Mr. Keene, we're correcting it. My connection is tight. We won't delay you." Isaiah stepped closer. "Is my seat assigned to someone else?" Claire placed his boarding slip face down. "There's a minor cabin issue." "Then explain it." "You'll be accommodated." "That wasn't my question." The red symbol blinked again, reflected in Priya's glasses. At 5:41 a.m., Owen Price entered through the staff door, carrying coffee and a folded performance sheet. His tie sat crooked, and he smelled of peppermint. "Why is boarding stopped?" Claire lowered her voice. "Premium seat duplication." Owen checked the departure board. "How long?" 2 minutes if he cooperates." Owen finally looked at Isaiah. "Sir, we can move you to business class with compensation. I paid for 2A. Mr. Keene is a priority guest." "And I'm not?" "That isn't what I said." "It is what your solution says." Priya cleared her throat. "The system confirms Mr. Mercer's assignment at 9:13 last night. Mr. Keene's note was added at 4:06 this morning." Claire turned. "That's internal. It also says no reassignment without passenger consent." Owen's cup stopped halfway to his mouth. "Priya, finish pre-boarding checks." She did not move. "Now." Priya lowered the tablet, but the red icon kept flashing against her uniform. Owen guided Claire toward the window. Rain crawled down the glass. "We need an on-time departure," he murmured. "Corporate is watching." "He won't move." "Then make the inconvenience his choice." Claire glanced toward Isaiah. "And Keene? Keep him happy." The words were quiet, but Tessa Nguyen, seated near the charging station, looked up from her laptop. Isaiah checked his phone. No new message from Amara. He opened the memorial program, then closed it before the page loaded. Claire returned his ticket with 2 fingers. "We're beginning boarding," she said. "You may take 2A for now, but the cabin crew has final authority over seating. For now? Don't create a problem before takeoff." Isaiah folded the slip and placed it inside his folio. "I haven't created one." The scanner beeped green. Priya handed him the pass without meeting Claire's eyes. As Isaiah entered the jet bridge, warm terminal air gave way to metallic cold. Behind him, Mr. Keene asked, "You are fixing this, correct?" Claire answered without hesitation. "He won't be in your seat when the door closes." The cabin lights brightened as Isaiah reached row 2. Seat 2. A waited beside the wet window. He placed his leather folio beneath it, folded his navy coat across his lap, and set the boarding pass on the armrest. Priya stopped beside him. "Coffee or water?" "Water." Her eyes moved towards the gate. "Keep your pass nearby." Claire entered with Martin Keene behind her. "That's my seat," Martin said. Isaiah checked the number above the window. "It matches my ticket." Claire held out her hand. "Boarding pass." He gave it to her. She barely looked down. "Mr. Mercer, we need you in 6C." "No, I purchased this seat." Claire turned toward Martin. "We apologize for the confusion, sir." Isaiah's hand remained extended. "My ticket, please." She spoke past him. "Your coat can go in the forward closet, Mr. Keene." Owen appeared at the curtain. "Claire?" "We're resolving it." Priya returned with water. Ice knocked against the cup. "The record shows 2A under Mr. Mercer," she said. Claire's jaw tightened. "Return to the galley." Priya set the cup on Isaiah's tray. A cold drop ran over his knuckle. Owen leaned closer. "Business class is 4 rows back." "Then Mr. Keene may find it convenient." Martin gave a short laugh. "I was guaranteed this seat." "And the airline sold it to me," Isaiah said. The pass was still in Claire's hand. Isaiah reached for it. She drew it to her chest. "Do not snatch things from crew." His fingers stopped. "I asked for my property." Passengers slowed in the aisle. A suitcase wheel struck a seat frame with a plastic crack. Tessa Nguyen raised her phone from 3D. "For the record, he did not touch you." Owen stepped between the rows. "Put that away." "No." Claire finally studied the seat number, payment code, and timestamp. Priya watched her see all 3. "There," Isaiah said. "Now you know." Claire folded the pass across the middle. The sound was small. "Why did you do that?" Priya asked. "Because the assignment is changing." "You can't change a ticket by folding it," Tessa said. Martin checked his watch. "Can someone remove him?" Isaiah looked at him. "You heard the facts." "I heard there's a delay." "And that is enough for you." Martin turned toward the window. Owen handed the pass back. Isaiah smoothed the crease against his knee, then slid it beside Naomi's photograph inside the folio. His phone lit with Amara's name. "Are you boarding?" He typed, "Yes. There's a seat issue." He erased the second sentence and sent only, "Yes." Claire noticed. "You may not use your phone during crew instructions." "The door is open." "I gave you an instruction." Owen lowered his voice. "Your refusal is becoming the issue." "My refusal to surrender a paid seat?" "Your attitude." Priya's tablet chimed. She read the new line and went still. "What is it?" Owen asked. The reassignment request was denied. Claire took the tablet. The icon beside 2A had changed to a lock. For 1 second, only rain tapped the fuselage. Then Claire faced the cabin. "Ladies and gentlemen, departure is being delayed because one passenger refuses to cooperate with crew instructions." Heads turned toward Isaiah. His boarding pass lay beside the water, the new crease cutting directly through his name. The announcement settled over first class, heavier than the rain. Air hissed through the vents. Someone in row 4 sighed. Isaiah kept both hands on his knees. Tessa's phone remained raised. "State the instruction," he refused. Claire turned. "This does not concern you." "You made it concern everyone." Owen stepped into the aisle. "Mr. Mercer, stand up." "Why?" "So we can continue off the aircraft." "My ticket is valid. Your system confirmed it. This is your final opportunity to cooperate voluntarily." Isaiah glanced at Priya, the locked seat assignment glowing on her tablet. "Is there any safety violation?" he asked. Priya's lips parted. "Do not answer," Owen said. Isaiah looked back at him. "Then there isn't one." The coffee machine clicked. Burnt grounds sharpened the air. Martin Keene shifted beside the curtain. "I have a board meeting in New York." Tessa said, "So does half the cabin." "This man is making a spectacle." "No, you're waiting to benefit from one." Martin looked away. Isaiah's phone lit on the tray table. "Please don't be late again." The words appeared beneath Amara's name. His thumb moved toward them. Claire reached across the aisle. "Put the phone away." "I need 10 seconds." You were told not to use it. My daughter is waiting. Owen checked the gate clock. Everyone here is waiting. Isaiah lifted the phone. Then verify the seat and let the plane leave. We have verified enough, Claire said. No, you have decided enough. The reading light above 2A clicked off. The message dimmed. Then the screen went black in Isaiah's hand. For a moment, he saw only his reflection, gray at the temples, the line of the photograph beneath his coat, and rows of faces behind him that would not hold his gaze. Priya set the tablet on the counter. Mr. Price, the override request came from your credential. Owen turned. Pick that up. It was submitted at 5:39, before Mr. Mercer boarded. Claire's shoulders stiffened. That doesn't change his conduct now. What conduct? Tessa asked. Owen pointed toward the door. Enough. Mr. Mercer, if you do not leave, airport security will remove you, and the report will reflect non-compliance. Isaiah rose. The cabin narrowed around him. His knee brushed the tray, making the ice tremble in the water cup. May I take my folio? Leave it, Claire said. It contains personal documents. You can collect it afterward. Isaiah bent anyway. Owen blocked him with one shoe. Do not reach under the seat. The steel watch band bit into Isaiah's wrist as he straightened. Tessa lowered her phone enough to meet his eyes. I have everything. Keep recording, he said. Claire laughed once. That sounds like coordination. It sounds like evidence, Priya said. Every head turned toward her. Owen's voice hardened. Go to the rear galley. Priya removed her name badge, looked at it, then clipped it back on. No. A distant chime announced that boarding time had expired. Isaiah tried his phone again. 1% battery. No signal. He typed, I'm still coming. Before he could send it, the cabin door indicator changed from green to amber, and two uniformed airport officers appeared at the end of the jet bridge. The officers stopped at the aircraft door while the amber indicator pulsed. Who called security? One officer asked. Owen pointed toward 2A. Passenger refusing crew instructions. Isaiah stood beside 2A. Ask what instruction? Claire stepped forward. He is delaying departure, recording employees, and ignoring commands. Tessa kept her phone raised. That is not what happened. Lower the device. No, I'm preserving evidence. Priya held the tablet. Its edge had left a red line across her palm. The cabin door alarm sounded once. Water slid from Isaiah's cup and fell onto the carpet. Cold air moved through his damp coat. The coffee machine clicked behind Claire. She reached for his phone. Do not touch my property, Isaiah said. You are done giving orders. Her fingers closed around it. Isaiah held on without pulling. Release it. I'm documenting names and times. You're threatening the crew. I haven't threatened anyone. Owen looked at the officers. You see the problem. Tessa stepped into the aisle. You're watching her take his phone. Everyone stop talking, the taller officer said. Let go, Claire said. Take your hand off it. Her face became still. The slap cracked through the cabin. Isaiah's head turned toward the rain-striped window. His phone struck the seat rail and landed face up. Amara's unsent message glowed beneath a fracture. I'm still coming. Martin Keene stared at his shoes. Tessa's camera stayed level. Priya whispered, That is not procedure. Claire lowered her hand. He moved toward me. No, Tessa said. He didn't. I saw it, Priya added. Owen's voice thinned. Claire, step back. She did not. Remove him. Isaiah bent toward the phone. The shorter officer blocked him. Sir, stay upright. My phone is on the floor. Stay upright. Isaiah straightened under the cabin lights. Your names, he said. Owen blinked. What? All of them. Claire laughed once. What are you pretending to be? Isaiah said nothing. Tessa spoke toward her camera. Claire Harlan, Owen Price, 2 airport officers at Gate 14. Time, 7:17 a.m. 7:18, Priya corrected. The officer nodded. Isaiah picked up the phone. Broken glass split Amara's words. Evelyn called before the screen dimmed. Preserve every record connected to this flight, Isaiah said. The closing team is waiting for your authorization, Evelyn answered. Suspend it. Ice rattled in the abandoned cup. The entire $4.8 billion transaction? Yes. Claire folded her arms. This performance won't keep you on the plane. Isaiah looked at Naomi's photograph, peeking from the open folio beneath 2A. Do not tell them why, he said. Not yet. Evelyn's tone changed. What happened? Send the legal hold. Include gate video, cabin recordings, seat logs, crew messages, and every version of the incident report. Owen moved closer. End that call. Isaiah stepped back. Tessa moved between them. Don't touch him again. The cabin door alarm sounded a second time. The officer looked from Claire to Tessa's recording. Nobody leaves. Nobody deletes anything. Then Priya's tablet chimed. A new line appeared beneath seat 2A. Incident report opened. Author, Owen Price. Priya turned the tablet toward the officers. It was opened before anyone interviewed him. Owen reached for it. That is an internal document. The taller officer stopped him. The screen showed 7:16 a.m., 1 minute before the slap. Tessa read, Passenger became aggressive after refusing a lawful seat reassignment. Isaiah looked at Owen. You wrote the ending first. I documented a developing situation. You invented one. Claire crossed her arms. He still has to leave. The shorter officer nodded toward the jet bridge. Sir, come with us while we separate everyone. Am I detained? Not at this time. Then I'm taking my folio. Owen blocked seat 2A. It stays until the cabin is cleared. It contains personal papers. We'll secure it. Priya moved toward the seat, but Claire stopped her. Back galley, now. His boarding pass is inside, Priya said. So is the closing agreement, Owen replied before he could stop himself. Tessa's camera shifted. What agreement? Owen said nothing. Isaiah buttoned his coat. The fabric smelled of rain and hotel soap. His cracked phone still showed Amara's unsent message. I'll walk, he told the officers. No hands on me. The jet bridge was colder than the cabin. Metal joints groaned under baggage carts. Isaiah looked back. Naomi's photograph had slipped halfway from the open folio beneath 2A. Priya, she saw it. I'll keep it safe. Claire closed the curtain. Daniel Ruiz waited at the end in a Navy airport jacket. Security shift supervisor, I need your account. You need the video first. I'll get both. Behind them, the aircraft door remained open. A warning chime sounded every 30 seconds. Daniel led Isaiah through a corridor smelling of floor cleaner and wet concrete. At 7:26, they entered a windowless room with a bolted metal table. Sit, please. Cold came through Isaiah's thin hoodie the moment he lowered himself. Daniel set down a form. Were you verbally aggressive? No. Did you refuse to move? I refused to surrender a confirmed seat. Did you touch the attendant? No. Owen entered carrying a printed report. He threatened crew operations and made an unauthorized commercial call, Owen said. Daniel checked the pages. You filed this before the physical contact. I started it earlier and updated it. There's no update history. Owen's peppermint breath reached across the table. Remove him so the flight can depart. Isaiah glanced at the clock. It still hasn't departed. From the corridor came the same faint warning chime. Daniel folded the report. Where are his belongings? On board. Bring them. Cabin access is restricted. By whom? Owen did not answer. Isaiah's phone found one final signal bar. Amara had written, "The program begins in 30 minutes." His thumb touched the cracked glass, but the battery died before he could reply. Owen placed another document beside the report. "Sign this acknowledgement," he said, "and we'll put you on an evening flight." Isaiah read the first line. "I accept responsibility for disrupting crew operations." The metal chair felt colder. Outside, the warning chime sounded again. Someone had ordered the aircraft door to remain open. The pen touched the signature line, but the ballpoint left only a pale dent. Owen slid the form closer. "Press harder." Isaiah kept the tip against the paper. The fluorescent tube buzzed above him, and cold seeped through the metal chair. "Sign," Owen said. "You'll be rebooked tonight. This ends here." Daniel Ruiz stood by the door. He still doesn't have his belongings. They're being inventoried. By the crew named in the complaint? Owen's mouth tightened. "This is operational." Isaiah lifted the pen. No ink marked the page. "What time is the evening flight?" 6:40. "The lecture will be over." "That isn't our responsibility." 3,000 miles away, Amara stepped behind a lectern in Manhattan. One chair remained empty, a folded program on its cushion. A coordinator whispered, "We can wait 5 minutes." "No, my mother hated late starts." Amara placed Naomi's photograph beside the microphone. "Good morning," she began. "This lecture is for people who learned that promises sound different after they've been broken." In Seattle, Daniel returned with Isaiah's folio sealed inside a clear bag. "Owen said it had to remain on the aircraft," Isaiah said. "I disagreed." Daniel cut the tie. Worn leather and stale coffee scented the room. Inside, Isaiah found his creased boarding pass and Naomi's photograph, marked by a black shoe print. "Was that there before?" Daniel asked. "No." Owen glanced away. "Items shift during removal." "Photographs don't step on themselves," Daniel said. Isaiah wiped the sleeve with his cuff. Beneath it lay a small recorder. Owen tapped the form. "We are discussing your conduct." Isaiah pressed the button. Static crackled, then Naomi's voice filled the room, thin with age, but steady. "Presence isn't where you say you'll be, Isaiah. It's the choice you make when showing up costs you something." Daniel connected Isaiah's dead phone to a charger. A battery symbol appeared. Then Amara's message opened across the cracked screen. "I started without you. I can't keep saving an empty chair." Owen lowered his voice. "You can still make the evening flight." Isaiah folded the admission form. "No. You're refusing a reasonable resolution. I'm refusing your version of events. You may lose the ticket. I already lost what it was for." Daniel looked at the unsigned line. "What do you want?" "The original report. Every edit. Every message about 2A gate footage, cabin footage, and everyone who approved my removal." Owen stood. "You have no authority to demand that." Isaiah's phone rang. Evelyn Grant. He answered on speaker. "The suspension went through," she said. "Northline's counsel wants this treated as a passenger service dispute." Isaiah looked at Naomi's marked photograph and the unsigned form. "Tell them no." "How broad should the hold be?" "Everything." Owen reached for the phone. Daniel moved the charger beyond him. "Once I issue that," Evelyn said, "the closing cannot reopen without your written release." Isaiah placed the unused pen on Owen's form. "Then issue it now." Across the country, Amara glanced once at the empty chair before reading the passage she had written for her father to hear. At 8:03 a.m., Evelyn Grant's phone lit with the first green check mark. "Legal hold received," she said through Isaiah's speaker. "Gate systems, crew devices, seat records." A second mark appeared. The chime sounded almost cheerful under the fluorescent hum. Owen stared at the screen. You cannot freeze a corporate closing over a customer complaint. Isaiah folded Naomi's photograph into the folio. "Preserve the evidence and prove that's all it is." Daniel Ruiz pulled the report closer. "Mr. Price, I need your access log." "That requires airline authorization. You used airport security to remove a passenger. I'm the authorization for my side." The jet bridge groaned beyond the wall. Evelyn spoke again. "The signing room is locked. 26 participants were disconnected." "Any response?" "3 calls." "Do not explain yet." Another green mark appeared. "Cabin messages preserved." Across the terminal, Tessa sat at a gate desk with her laptop open. Priya stood beside her, rubbing the red groove the tablet had left in her palm. "Send the original file," Tessa said. "If I export it, they'll know. They know I contradicted them." Priya watched passengers leave the aircraft. "I need this job." And he needed one person to speak. "I did." "Then make sure it survives." Priya connected the tablet. A progress bar crawled across the screen while rain whispered against the windows. Inside the room, Daniel's radio crackled. Multiple witnesses requesting statements. Owen moved toward the door. "They need rebooking, not interviews." Daniel blocked him. "They can choose." Isaiah's phone vibrated. Battery at 6%. A message from Amara waited. "The lecture is over." He did not open it. Evelyn said, "I need an independent reviewer before their lawyers negotiate around this." Tessa Nguyen witnessed it. "She represents you?" "No." "Then why her?" "She recorded before she knew who I was." Daniel's radio sounded again. "Passenger attorney submitting video." A green check appeared. "External witness file received." Tessa's recording opened on Daniel's monitor. Cabin lights flashed across faces turned from the aisle. Claire's hand entered the frame. The slap struck through the speakers. Daniel stopped playback. Owen said, "There was contact before that angle." "Show me," Daniel replied. "The cabin system will." "Then why did you object to preserving it?" Owen looked at the wall. The door opened. Priya entered and placed a printed page beside the report. "This seat log confirms Mr. Mercer first. The reassignment came from Mr. Price's credentials." "You accessed restricted records," Owen said. "I preserved them." Isaiah opened Amara's message. "I saw the video. Someone sent it during Mom's tribute." His thumb rested on the fractured glass. No answer seemed small enough. A final green check appeared. Executive notice delivered. Then a new line replaced it. Northline CEO requesting immediate meeting with Isaiah Mercer. Owen read the name and looked at the quiet man in the hoodie. "Mercer," he said. "As in Meridian?" Isaiah closed his daughter's message. "Release the witnesses," he told Daniel. "Keep the records." Footsteps multiplied outside. A voice asked where the founder was. The footsteps stopped outside the interview room. Richard Bennett entered first, silver-haired, his wet coat open. Marla Denton followed, holding a closed silver pen. "Mr. Mercer," Richard said. Owen stepped away from the table. Marla studied Isaiah's hoodie and cracked phone. "We were told there had been a service misunderstanding." Isaiah nodded toward Tessa's frozen video. "Watch." The slap cracked through the speakers. Marla's fingers tightened around the pen. Richard watched Claire lower her hand and Martin Keene turn away. When it ended, only the ventilation fan moved the air. Richard faced Owen. "Is this complete?" "No. There was escalating non-compliance." "Show me." "The cabin footage is under review." Daniel folded his arms. "It exists because he ordered it preserved." Marla opened her case. "Mr. Mercer, we can continue somewhere private." "It is private. I mean without airport staff or passengers. Tessa stays. Priya stays. Mr. Ruiz stays." She placed a document on the table. The silver pen remained closed beside it. "We can offer compensation, private transport, and a written apology." "My daughter's lecture ended 23 minutes ago. We understand the inconvenience." Isaiah looked at her. Marla swallowed. "The harm?" "Why was the closing suspended?" Richard asked. Isaiah removed the agreement from his folio. His name waited above an empty signature line. Isaiah turned the page toward them. "Meridian is the buyer. I founded Meridian. Your company asked me to trust its judgment with $4.8 billion while its employees decided my ticket, my word, and my dignity were disposable." Richard stared at the page. "You were flying to sign this?" "I was flying to hear my daughter speak." Marla clicked the pen open. "What restores the transaction today?" Isaiah pushed the agreement back. "The aircraft is still at the gate?" Daniel checked his radio. "Yes." "Release the passengers. Preserve the cabin. Interview witnesses separately." Richard said, "That cancels the flight." "It should have stopped when evidence mattered more than departure statistics." Marla lowered her voice. "We can handle Claire and Owen internally." "No." "Mr. Mercer, use the procedure you would use if I owned nothing." Priya appeared in the doorway, tablet to her chest. "They've ordered me to surrender this." "I did not authorize that," Marla said. "Someone did," Priya replied. Tessa stood. "Then retaliation has begun." Isaiah aligned the agreement with the table edge. The room smelled of wet wool, printer heat, and cold coffee. Richard finally sat. "Your conditions?" "Independent investigation. Full records. Witness protection. No settlement before findings." "And the deal?" "Frozen." Marla capped the silver pen. The click was quiet and final. Outside, an announcement canceled the New York flight. Phones began ringing in the corridor. Richard rubbed his forehead. "You understand what this will do to both companies." Isaiah slid Naomi's photograph behind the unsigned page. "I understand what happened when everyone else decided speaking was too expensive." Daniel's radio crackled. "Supervisor, we found 3 earlier complaints tied to the same crew manager." "3 complaints?" Richard Bennett asked. "All tied to Owen Price. 2 concern seat disputes. One says staff rewrote the report after removing the passenger." Marla closed her eyes. "Who closed them?" "Customer operations. That division reports to me." The silver pen stayed closed. At 9:12 a.m., Sarah Lawson arrived with rain on her shoulders. 46, head of an independent ethics commission, she wore silver-framed glasses and squared every page before reading it. "I answer to neither company," she said. "Anyone who edits evidence or coaches a witness leaves." Owen crossed his arms. "This is disproportionate." "Then the records will prove that." The room smelled of wet wool and hot toner. Tessa connected her phone to the monitor. Priya opened the seat log. Daniel placed Isaiah's creased boarding pass between them. Sarah pointed to the timestamps. Mr. Mercer received 2A at 9:13 p.m. Mr. Keene's note appeared at 4:06 a.m. Who requested reassignment? "Mr. Price's credential," Priya said. I authorized a courtesy correction, Owen replied. For an occupied seat? I was told he had been upgraded. You had my payment record. Owen's chair scraped. I had departure targets. Sarah turned to Claire. When did you see the lock on 2A? At the gate. And the purchase confirmation? On board. Before you announced that he caused the delay? Claire rubbed her thumb. Before. Tessa played the recording. Claire's voice filled the room. Who upgraded you? Then Owen's. Make the inconvenience his choice. Martin Keene sat near the door, damp coat across his knees. At the second before the slap, he raised one hand. Stop. Tessa paused it. On screen, Isaiah stood with one palm open. Claire held his phone. Martin's face was turned toward the carpet. Sarah asked, Why here? That is when I knew the seat was his. You knew earlier, Priya said. He nodded. Yes? And said nothing, Tessa added. I wanted the flight to leave. Isaiah did not look at him. So did I. Sarah opened the earlier complaints. One passenger wrote that a valid pass was treated as suspicious. Another described a report altered after removal. The third ended with a highlighted sentence. Everyone watched, and no one wanted to be delayed. Marla whispered, Why weren't these escalated? They were resolved, Owen said. With travel credits? Sarah asked. With operational discretion. Silence purchased cheaply. Sarah turned a dashboard toward Richard. Your system rewards on-time closure and penalizes escalations. It does not count wrongful removals, witness contradictions, or false reports. Richard leaned back. We built the incentive. And they used it, Isaiah said. Sarah slid the report toward Owen. The first version alleged verbal resistance. The second added physical intimidation after Tessa's video was preserved. Who changed this? I did. On whose instruction? He looked at Marla. Before he answered, Sarah's assistant entered with another file. This complaint was submitted last night, she said. It names Claire Harlan and was marked closed at 6:58 this morning. Sarah checked the time. That was 19 minutes before the slap. Sarah Lawson read the timestamp again. Closed at 6:58, she said. Who approved it? Marla Denton did not answer. The hearing had moved to a glass room above the gates. Air lifted Amara's memorial program beside an empty chair. Sarah placed the complaint before Claire. Read the last line. Claire swallowed. The passenger states that I dismissed his documents without review. Louder. Claire looked at Isaiah. I dismissed his documents without review. And 19 minutes later? I did it again. Owen's chair scraped. This is theatrical. No, Sarah said. The theater happened in first class. Sarah faced Owen. Why was the complaint closed? It was a service misunderstanding. And you wrote that Mr. Mercer was aggressive before anyone interviewed him. I was protecting the departure. Isaiah spoke. From what? Delay, escalation, public disruption. You created all three. Sarah played Tessa's recording and stopped before the slap. Claire's voice filled the speakers. You are done giving orders. What did he order you to do? He asked me not to take his phone. Did he threaten you? No. Touch you? No. No, the seat was his? Claire glanced at the empty chair. Yes. Amara sat in a cream suit, her twists damp from rain, Naomi's portrait under her palm. Claire's voice fell. I saw his clothes. I heard how calm he was. I decided he was challenging me. Amara looked at her. Because he didn't beg? Claire lowered her eyes. Owen leaned forward. We are not here to discuss impressions. That is why we are here, Sarah said. Impressions became commands. Commands became a false report. Marla pushed a folder across the table. We will terminate Ms. Harlan and suspend Mr. Price. Isaiah did not touch it. What about the system that rewarded them? We can review that separately. No. Richard turned from the window. What belongs in the findings? My daughter stood beside that chair while strangers watched a video of her father being struck. She learned I missed her mother's lecture because your people wanted a clean departure metric. Amara's hand flattened over the program. It trembled once. Do not reduce this to 2 employees, Isaiah said. Sarah turned to Claire. Anything else? Mr. Price said the promotion panel would review this flight. Owen's head snapped toward her. He said Mr. Keene had to leave satisfied. He said the man in 2A would move if I made staying uncomfortable enough. Priya closed her eyes. Marla whispered, You never reported that. I thought it was how things were done. Sarah's pen scratched across the page. Owen stood. I want counsel. You may have counsel. You may not leave with your devices. Amara placed the program before Isaiah. This was your copy. He touched the edge, but did not open it. I watched the recording before I went on stage, she said. I kept looking at the empty chair anyway. I'm sorry. I know. That doesn't put you there. A baggage cart beeped beneath the sky. Sarah's assistant entered with a sealed drive. We recovered an internal message. The screen lit. Close prior complaints before executive review. Keep the Mercer incident contained. The sender field carried Marla Denton's name. Marla Denton stared at her name on the screen. A baggage cart beeped below the glass wall. Then she reached for the sealed drive. Sarah Lawson covered it. Do not touch evidence. That message lacks context. Provide it. Sarah enlarged the line. Close prior complaints before executive review. Keep the Mercer incident contained. Recipients? Price, Customer Operations, Executive Legal, her assistant said. Richard Bennett's jaw tightened. You sent this at 7:31? I was preventing uncontrolled disclosure. You knew enough to contain it, Amara said, but not enough to stop it. Marla turned. Ms. Mercer, I understand this is personal. Amara slid the memorial program into her bag. That sentence is why people like you survive rooms like this. Who ordered the settlement offer? I did. Before reviewing the footage? Yes. Who told Priya to surrender the tablet? Marla hesitated. Priya placed it between them. Executive Operations. Sarah's assistant found the log. Richard removed his badge. The plastic edge clicked against the table. Marla Denton is suspended pending review. Owen Price remains suspended. Claire Harlan is terminated for misconduct and false reporting. Claire's breath caught. You said there would be coaching. Marla did not look at her. Sarah said, Consequences are not findings. We are not finished. Isaiah watched Claire trace the pale mark where her badge had rested. Why did you strike me? I thought if I lost control of the cabin, I lost the promotion. You had already lost control. I know. No, Isaiah said. You know now. Sarah opened the final packet. 6 years of complaints had been labeled minor service disputes, different names, same phrases, uncooperative, disruptive, failed to follow instructions. In 4 cases, recordings contradicted the reports. Richard read the summary. How many managers signed off? 7. 3 still work here. Put them on leave. And preserve compensation records, Isaiah said. Did bonuses rise when complaints disappeared? Marla's attorney entered. My client will not answer further. Sarah closed the packet. The records already have. Outside, reporters raised their phones. Richard asked, Will you make a statement? Not about the deal. Then about what happened. Isaiah glanced at Amara holding Naomi's portrait. My daughter speaks first. Amara looked through the glass, then shook her head. Not today. He accepted that. In the corridor, Evelyn called. The board wants authorization to reopen negotiations. Denied? What conditions would change that? Isaiah looked back at the closed silver pen, removed badges, and stack of complaints. Independent findings, public corrective action, witness protection, new procedures before the first signature. And if they refuse, then the deal stays frozen. Amara stepped beside him, leaving half an arm's length between them. I'm not ready to forgive you for missing the lecture, she said. I know. But don't waste what this cost. Isaiah touched the bent corner of Naomi's photograph. I won't. Behind them, Sarah requested the compensation files, and 3 more names appeared on the suspension list. At 7:10 the next morning, Isaiah stood before a glass wall covered with red edits. Rain striped the windows. Marker ink, burnt coffee, and damp wool thickened the air. Priya sat with her tablet, sealed in plastic. Amara read beside Sarah. Richard Bennett tapped the heading. The Mercer Passenger Protection Standard. Isaiah uncapped a black pen. No. He drew one line through his surname. Your name gives it weight, Richard said. The rules should protect the passenger nobody recognizes. Amara watched the ink dry. Then what do we call it? Isaiah wrote beneath the title, Passenger Dignity Protocol. Sarah read, Any disputed seat requires 2-person verification before removal. Priya added, and the passenger sees the same record the crew sees. Agreed. Not enough, Amara replied. What if the supervisor created the conflict? Automatic outside review, Sarah said. Isaiah pointed to the margin. Preserve video, messages, seat logs, and every report version when removal is requested. No discretionary deletion? None. The ventilation clicked off. Only rain moved. At noon, 7 managers joined by video. 1 warned of delays. How many minutes? Isaiah asked. 6 or 7. And a false removal costs what? The manager looked down. Richard answered. More. Priya slid over a chart. On-time bonuses rose whenever complaints closed within 24 hours. This metric taught people what mattered, she said. Richard removed the page. Then it ends today. Another manager objected. You cannot measure dignity. Amara folded her arms. You measured silence. No one replied. By mid-afternoon, the policy covered document review, witness handling, accuracy, and retaliation. An independent ombudsman would receive each removal case. Passengers would get a case number before departure. Sarah tapped the last clause. Witness protection. Priya gripped her badge. For how long? 12 months, Richard said. 18. Isaiah nodded. 18. Richard wrote it in. At 4:38 p.m., Claire appeared by video. Owen joined separately. Claire read the crossed-out title. You removed your name. It was never about my name. Will this change what happens to me? No. Her mouth tightened. But honest testimony may change what happens to the next passenger, Sarah said. Owen interrupted. You are building policy from one incident. Sarah opened the archived complaints. We are building it from the incidents your reports buried. His screen went dark. Near sunset, Richard placed the agreement beside the protocol. The same silver pen lay between them. If we implement everything, will Meridian reopen the deal? After an independent audit. How long? 6 months. Our board will call that punitive. Amara turned the pen. Tell them 6 months is what accountability costs. Richard signed first. Priya and Sarah followed. Amara crossed out the consultant fee beside her name. Isaiah signed last, beneath the title that did not carry it. When the elevator doors opened, he waited for Amara to enter first. She noticed. Small improvement. I'll take it. Behind them, the crossed-out surname remained visible through the glass, while the protocol went live at every gate. 6 months later, Isaiah arrived at the Memorial Hall before the doors opened. The stage lights were warming. He carried programs to the front row, aligned their folded edges, then placed Naomi's photograph on the third chair. The broken corner had been repaired with clear tape. Amara entered in a cream suit. "You're early," she said. 27 minutes. She checked the clock. "You counted." "I did." She adjusted the photograph. Neither mentioned the empty chair from the first lecture. That morning, Sarah Lawson released the final audit. The passenger dignity protocol was active at every gate. Disputed seats required two-person verification, and any removal automatically preserved video, messages, seat logs, and every report version. An independent ombudsman had reviewed 43 cases in 6 months. 11 removals had been reversed before passengers reached the jet bridge. Priya Shah led the first witness protection training. Her badge no longer shook when she spoke. "Procedure is not loyalty to the loudest person in the room," she told the supervisors. "It is loyalty to what can be verified." Tessa Nguyen watched from the back. Afterward, she handed Priya a coffee. "You were better than the manual. The manual didn't have to stand in that cabin." Claire Harlan's termination was upheld after appeal. She completed an accountability program and submitted a statement without asking for reinstatement. Owen Price resigned before his disciplinary hearing and was barred from supervisory work with the airline. Marla Denton was removed from executive operations after investigators confirmed that she had closed prior complaints and tried to contain Isaiah's case before reviewing the evidence. Richard Bennett remained chief executive under outside oversight. His bonus system was rewritten so unresolved complaints could no longer vanish behind departure statistics. At 11:40 a.m., Evelyn placed the $4.8 billion agreement on a conference table. "No ceremony?" Richard asked. "No cameras," Isaiah said. The same silver pen lay beside the signature page. Richard signed first. Isaiah waited until Sarah confirmed the audit had been published in full. Then he signed. "The deal is open," Evelyn said. Isaiah capped the pen. "Keep the oversight open longer." "How long?" "Until the numbers stop needing us to explain them." That evening, the Memorial Hall filled slowly. Isaiah sat in the front row. He smelled fresh paint from the stage and coffee from the lobby. Programs rustled around him like quiet rain. A man in the aisle recognized him. "You're the CEO from the flight." Isaiah looked toward the curtain. "Tonight I'm her father." The house lights dimmed. Amara stepped to the lectern and found him immediately. She did not smile, but she rested one hand on Naomi's photograph before beginning. After the lecture, they remained while volunteers stacked chairs. Amara handed him the program he had missed 6 months earlier. The crease through his name was still visible. "I kept this," she said. "I don't deserve it." "No, but you should remember it." He folded it once and placed it beside the photograph. At the doors, she paused. "Breakfast tomorrow?" "I'll be there." "Early?" 27 minutes. This time, she smiled. Behind them, the third chair held Naomi's photograph, and the repaired corner did not lift. Have you ever watched someone's dignity dismissed because of how they looked, dressed, or spoke? Share what happened in the comments, especially if one quiet witness changed the outcome. Your story may help another person recognize the moment when silence becomes a choice. Share this story with someone who believes fairness should not depend on wealth, status, or a famous name. Subscribe for more stories about justice, quiet resilience, accountability, and the difficult work of changing systems instead of simply punishing individuals. And remember, the people who spoke when doing so could cost them something. Sometimes reform begins with a preserved record, an honest sentence, and one person refusing to look away.